Hello friends, welcome back to the first session, the presentation basically of my predictions for cryptocurrencies for July. So we'll cover Bitcoin and Solana. And all of you guys, my clients, you guys already know what these couple months have to hold for us. Okay, many crazy things are going to happen. In this one and the other one, the next one after that, basically August. So be prepared to see some extreme volatility in both ways. You already know which month is going to be a correction, a full-on correction, which one is going to be the opposite. If you want that information for those who are just listening to this, you can write down to my email. Obviously, this is a paid prediction. I won't give that information for free. I have given that information for free to my most loyal supporters, but that's only if they have been supporting me consistently, daily, basically, since quite a while. If you are just supporting me, maybe there's a small possibility, but yeah, it's only for my most loyal supporters and my clients. But still, my predictions are very, very good. And you can get a really nice and very logical guide to trading in these days for this month of July. So if you already watched the tutorial, you already know about this. If you haven't, go ahead and watch it. It's on my main page, but it's very easy to read. All I have to do right now is to give some basic commentary about how to read my charts very, very quickly. So obviously, green and red, they obviously represent corrections and impulses, okay? Nothing much to it. But the yellow circles always represent either range or volatility. So whenever you see a yellow circle, that means we can expect some volatility or range. The boxes, for any color, they represent a higher magnitude of volatility. So these dates are very key. These are going to be very important. So, for example, we can see, I published a chart. Well, this is the public chart. I made one for myself, I believe yesterday, something like that. So you can see there was some very, very strong volatility for the 2nd or the 3rd of January. We got this on the 2nd of July. I don't know why I said January. So on July, we got the 2nd of July, extremely very volatile. You can see it's a massive pump right here. We're talking almost 3%, basically almost back to 110K in a single day. Quite interesting. But the next days are also going to be very volatile. It's not going to end with just today. We're going to see possibly another volatile day on the 4, especially the 5 maybe. And these days, anything can happen in these days, because you can see the boxes have some overlapping days. For example, the 4 and the 5 are both contained within this red box, just as this green box details. So these days are going to be very volatile. Possibly, if things go well, we can see a very strong week, this one and the beginning of the next one after that, because there's another green circle right here from the 7th to the 9th of July. So if we get things right, we can maybe see consecutive green days and very powerful impulses in this range of days. Okay, now after that, I believe the situation will kind of calm down. Will eventually, maybe this will be acting as a break, or as a kind of, basically a break from what could be some days in consecutive correction. This break, I am exclusively talking about the 11 all the way to the 13. One of these days could present some nice profit opportunities. Now, corrections, besides the first box, we also have a next one after that, which is on the 14th to the 16th. So this kind of correlates with many of these dates in this red circle. So what this means is that there's a very likely possibility of seeing very strong corrections around these dates. Okay, I believe especially could be most worrying the 14th and possibly the 15th, but I'm more worried about the 14th. So be prepared for that. Now Bitcoin presents a quick succession, basically what I can describe, of red boxes. We got the 18 to the 20 of July, 21 to 22, 25, and 28. So you can already see many of these boxes are very close to each other in terms of days. So I believe after these dates could be, this is not going to be that good, I believe, because if you compare this chart to the June chart, you can see basically the last 5 days of June were all in green, and that translates into a very good, very stable closing of the month. This is not the case for July. You can see right now, let's go back. You can see there are many red boxes already fighting for each other in the single days. We also have boxes individual days, 25, 28. So this actually tells me that it's going to be very volatile and possibly trending downwards the last days of June. This is what I can basically infer from all of these boxes that are basically clustered together in this specific range of days, which basically goes from the 18 all the way to the end. Okay, there could be some surprises, some positive days around the 26, 27, maybe one on the 31, but yeah, it's looking like this actually could be the range of days where Bitcoin could trend in general downtrend. Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see what this can offer. But again, all my clients already know the key dates, the key months to be on the lookout for, because this range, as soon as we approach the last quarter of the year, things will get crazier. Okay, and I have to make some geopolitical predictions, and if I find something interesting, I will share them with you, especially on my Twitter account. But I'm trying to actually pinpoint some key events that many people are speculating about could happen. There are just lots of rumors. It's nothing that I can talk about right now because it's not financially related, so it's pointless kind of. But yeah, let's just go over to the Solana chart, and you can see Solana also presents some volatility for the first week. The first week and a half, let's say, because we can see there's still more volatility program for either tomorrow or the 4th of July. So be prepared to that. Another green box, 6 to the 8. So it's more likely to happen, these powerful impulses, whenever you see a single day with no red energy. Okay? In this case, the 6 is not the case, neither is the 7, because as you can see, it's shared by the red circle right here, which means volatility, and also the 7. But the case for the 8 could look more probable. Okay, it's a single day on a single circle, on a single green circle. The 9 could also be very volatile. So be prepared to see some extreme volatility. Now, Solana has something that Bitcoin doesn't, and that is a massive range of days, actually 2 massive yellow circles that we got, basically ranging the first one from the 11 all the way to the 15 of July, and the other one which covers 21 to the 24. So just like I told you in the very first, in the intro basically of this video, whenever you see yellow circles, they always mean either range or volatility. Now, it's obviously not going to be all of these days in range or all of these days in very volatile, but what we can see, what we can expect for these days is it will be kind of undecided. Okay, Solana will be basically going up and down with no clear trend. Maybe Bitcoin can help define it, but Solana will have to rely mainly on these yellow circles that I have highlighted, on the red and green boxes, whatever corresponds to those dates. For example, in this circle, we can basically only expect these two the red and the green box of the 1314 for the red and the 9 to the 13 for the green. Okay, expect some days, very volatile days there. And let's just see how the opening, the closing of July looks like for Solana. So very much like Bitcoin, in the sense that this is not going to be like June. We closed June with a very, very positive note. Solana actually got a very, very surprising volatile day, basically on the last day, I believe, right? Yeah, it was the 30th of June. This doesn't look to be, it doesn't look like we can replicate the same on this month of July. Why? Because many red circles are already within the last 10 days. This means that the closing will be not nearly as good as the one that we got for June. We could see some surprise impulses. Again, we see a green box on the 29 to the 31. So again, this represents a very a small possibility of seeing some very powerful impulses, very volatile days, which, if you can recall from the Bitcoin chart that we just talked about, the 31 on the Bitcoin chart is also green on a green box. So maybe there's a possibility of seeing some surprise volatility days at the end of the month, which could be interesting and especially very profitable if they do end up being extremely volatile. Let's just imagine that we see consecutive corrections around the 26, 29 maybe. I'm not saying all of them will be, but maybe one or two. And if we place a long around these days, and we actually benefit from a very strong impulse like the one I am predicting for the end days, we could see some very nice profits. So that's all I have for you guys. Again, if you want to follow me for more detailed information and maybe even extra charts, especially the other traditional finance charts, which I also publish on Twitter. I should publish them way more often because some people actually like them, especially Tesla and the other stocks. Especially right now that we can see that you can actually trade stocks on wallets, especially Solana wallets, I believe. So it's going to be very, very interesting what the future holds, not just for tokens, for the digitalization or the tokenization of stocks, but very, very interesting mix between these two realms of finance. So that's all I have for you guys. Again, follow me, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.